Hello guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope that you are going to enjoy it. What we're going to be looking at today is one of my latest build. This is a 5-inch sub 250. Now currently with the Runcam thumb on top and the mount for the Runcam, it is definitely not a sub 250. But without it, the weight of the build dry is 184 grams. It is a forest build, and the two battery I've been using on this so far is the JMB 450 and 650. With the 450, the weight goes to 224, and with the 650, the weight goes to 246. So definitely sub 250 without the camera on top. The reason I'm using this camera is that I'm trying to learn a little more about gyro flow, and also trying to get a little better on my video as far as post editing goes. This camera is only 50 bucks. The raw video of the camera is not really that good. That's what I'm going to be using for this video, so kind of give you an idea. But on scene on YouTube, to where if you work with the video as far as post editing goes, and you work with the video as far as gyro flow goes, it does give you some pretty good video. Now let's go over the build itself. The frame I'm using is the AOS UL5 ultralight frame from HDZero. I'm not really going to be talking too much about the frame. I'm going to advise you, if you like to learn more about this frame, to check out HDZero video. He did a very nice video about this frame. He's the designer of the frame, and I think he gives you a much better idea as far as everything that went on designing this frame. What I really like about this frame is, first of all, it's very light, which make it pretty easy to get under sub 250. It is pretty stiff, even though looking at it, it doesn't feel like it's a stiff frame. It's very stiff. It does give you multiple options for your electronics. In the front, you got 20 by 20 and 16 by 16. So is in the back 20 by 20 and 16 by 16. And in the middle, you got 25 by 25 mount and 20 by 20 mount. So it gives you multiple options as far as mounting your electronics. As far as the overall height of the frame, the standoff are about 18 millimeter. So that is a good height in order for you to put your electronic on the inside. One thing I have to say that I do not like about this frame is that in order to get access to your electronic, especially if you have them mounted the way I have mine right in the middle, you have to take this bottom plate off in order to get access to your electronic. But except for that, that is the only negative thing I have to say about this frame. Now that I have the frame out of the way, let's talk about everything else I use. As far as motor goes, I'm using Brotherhobby. Those are the 2004 motor. They've been out for a couple years. Very good motor, and those particular one are 21 kV. As far as my prop goes, I'm using T-props, and those are HQ prop. They are 5 by 1 by 2.5 by 3. Now I'm using tri blade on this sub 250. Most people will use bi blade in order to save some weight, but those prop are actually very light, and I do like the way tri blade fly better than bi blade. That's why I'm using this guy. And as far as electronic goes, you may have already seen it on the front. I do have the HDZero Runcam camera, and I am using the Racer V2 VTX. Only drawback with the VTX is that it is limited at 200 milliwatts, but that is pretty much for all the HDZero VTX except for the freestyle one. Talking about freestyle, I do have an extra freestyle VTX that I wanted to try on this build. You won't be able to mount a freestyle VTX on this build, so FYI. But for the kind of flight I've been using with this guy, the 200 milliwatt from HDZero is plenty enough. Now let's go down and talk about the flight controller itself. The flight controller I'm using is really the real gem of this build, and pretty much what it is a G4 Fettec G4 with a 35 Fettec 4-in-1 ESC combined together, and that gives you the flight controller I'm using, which is the Fettec G4 AIO. Very nice flight controller. It is a small flight controller. If you're planning on using it, I would say be very careful because the soldering pads are very small. They do give you multiple JXT connector, and that is pretty much all I use for this build. The only thing I had to solder on this build, actually there is two things I had to solder on this build. The first one is the connector for the Runcam, and the second one is that this flight controller does come with Fettec OSD. In order to deactivate the Fettec OSD, there is a little bridge that you have to put in order to deactivate the Fettec OSD. If you're planning on using DJI or HDZero with this flight controller, you need to deactivate the internal OSD in order to get access to the MSP for your DJI OSD or your HDZero OSD. That's something you just gotta remember. And of course, everything is explained in the manual. I have my antenna just sticking up on the side. I mean, that's the only place I had to put it. Let's see what else I have here. My receiver, of course, is Express LRS, and this is the AP model receiver that I'm using. In the back, I am using a BIGO low ESR capacitor. This is a 50 volt low ESR capacitor. This is pretty much this guy, and that's the one that pretty much comes with all your Fettec. And I also have a spike absorber, and that is definitely overkill for this build because I'm only running it at 4S, and 5 volt low ESR should be enough for it. But hey, I just put it in there just for you know, it was there, had the extra one. As far as flying goes, this thing fly pretty good. Nothing to say about it. It fly great. With the 450 GNB, I'm getting about 330 to 4 minutes of hard aggressive freestyle. With the 650 GNB, I'm actually getting over 5 minutes of flying, so it is pretty good as far as efficiency goes. And that is pretty much it for this video, guys. Now we're not going to be talking much. I'm going to let you enjoy the rest of the video, and I will see you on the next one.